Can I be painfully, truthfully real with you for just a minute? Fibromyalgia sucks. I mean, sucks. I feel like it is completely ruining my life. I'm so tired. It's after lunch. I'm still in my nightgown here. I have not had a shower. I woke up like this. Go me. My house is a complete disaster. If you knew me several years ago, my house was always clean. Like, everything had a place, everything in its place, blah, blah. I know that my life is a little more hectic now than it was then. I have 3 kids now instead of, the 2 that I did have. But man, I've been suffering with symptoms for years. Like, the first time I went and got blood work done was after my second son was born. He'll be 9 in August, so almost 9 years. We thought something was wrong, so I got blood work done. It came back, everything was fine. They were thinking that it might be my thyroid, but no, everything was fine. And I mean, I've been overweight for the last, I don't know, since I graduated high school, several years ago. My blood work was perfect. They're like, your blood work is perfect. Like, they were confused, like it shouldn't be. And that was the end of that. Go on, live your life, do your thing. But at that point, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I just didn't feel good sometimes, but I was okay. And as the years have gone on, like, things keep happening. Like, in 2013, I started having stomach issues. And so, Google, woohoo, I started looking things up, and it's like, okay, is this IBS? Is this Crohn's? Like, colon cancer runs in my family really, really bad. So let's go get this checked out, just in case. You never know. I know I was still young, but we got to be proactive with our health, right? So I go to the doctor. They do a colonoscopy, all that stuff. Everything's perfect. You're fine. Nothing's wrong with you. Okay, cool. I know something's wrong with me though, right? So about 2 years ago, I started having stomach issues, like really bad ones. I've had stomach issues my whole entire life, but this time it was bad, like major cramping going on. It was awful. So I thought it was my gallbladder because that's where it was hurting. So I go back to the doctor. They do the ultrasound. They did this other test where they put something in me and they watched it go through my gallbladder and all that stuff. Gallbladder's perfect, you're fine. They sent me to a gastroenterologist, so I'm like, woohoo, we're gonna get answers here, right? So I go to him. He's like, we're gonna give you antibiotics and see if it gets better. Maybe you have a stomach infection. So I take my antibiotics and it got better. Okay, so alright, so it was just a stomach infection. But things they just kept getting worse, and the past 10 to 12 months they got much worse. Like, the chronic fatigue is the worst part of fibromyalgia for me. Like I said, I have 3 kids. I cannot stop. Like, we homeschool, so we're busy all the time. We're constantly going and doing stuff with our group. We're in a homeschool group, and like, we go on field trips, we do play dates. Like, I cannot physically stop. It does not work that way for a mom. It doesn't, and it's hard to keep pushing through. And I finally got to a point a couple of weeks ago where I couldn't push through. Like, I had to go lay down all the time. And then the pins and needles started. It had started several weeks before that, but I didn't realize that's what it was. My back would just start feeling really itchy at night, and I just thought, well, my back's itching. It started at a mud bog. Yeah, I'm that kind of mom. I go to mud bogs. It's actually where I met my husband, at a mud bog, but that's a story for another time. A really good one. But this is about fibro. So we were at a mud bog, and I was like, well, maybe there's just like sand in our bed, because we're sleeping in a tent and we weren't taking good showers because we're camping and there's mud. So I'm like, okay, there's just dirt in the bed. It's not a big deal. But then we got home and it was still going on, but I was like, this is just really weird. Maybe my skin is drying out. Like, I've started breaking out on my back, and I never did that before. Maybe it's just a skin issue. Something's going on, but I don't know what it is. So a couple of days after that, I started getting pins and needles in my legs, and it was horrible. It felt like somebody was poking me all over with needles, and it was in the bottom of my feet. And so I kept jerking in bed because it gets worse at night. And so I got up and I went to the bathroom because I just needed to get up, and like, maybe if I got up and moved around it would stop. So I got up and I started Googling, and I Googled pins and needles in your feet and legs, and the first thing that came up was fibro. And I'd honestly thought for several years that that's what I had, But I kept reading through the symptoms and like, yeah, I had this or I had that, but like only a couple of things here and there. But now, like, okay, this is starting to sound real, right? So I went to the doctor. They did blood work. She went ahead and gave me Neurontin for the nerve stuff, and that helped tremendously. I was feeling like I had weights on my back, like I had a weighted vest on, and I had weights on my legs. Like it's just hard to even walk because my legs felt so heavy. So she thought maybe I wasn't getting good sleep since all the pins and needles stuff was going on. We were going to check my blood work because obviously the symptoms of fibro can mimic tons of other things. Of course, I get the call. I was feeling better because she also gave me muscle relaxers, so I was sleeping really, really, really good, and I was feeling better. The pins and needles had pretty much gone away with the Neurontin, so woohoo, we're doing great, right? I got my blood work back. Perfect. Everything's perfect. Great. And I was like, no, I really wanted it to be my thyroid, y'all. Like, as bad as that sounds, the last thing I wanted was a fibro diagnosis. Like, if this could be solved with something as easy as taking medicine for my thyroid every day, it would have just been amazing. I can get my thyroid all fixed. We can start taking medicine for that. I'll start losing weight probably because, you know, that's part of the thyroid issue. But no, everything was perfect. So I went back because I was not feeling better, and I'm not giving up this time. Like, this time, this is it. I cannot do this anymore. So I go back and I saw a different doctor, and she was asking me all these questions, and I'm telling her what's going on. My body's super duper duper sensitive to the touch. Like, this is a stupid story, but we bought my daughter a little kiddie pool, and all 5 of us ended up in the kiddie pool that night because we were just having fun with her. And I was already in it with her to convince her to get in it, and my husband came out there to check on us, and he like got in it with just his feet, and I'm like, no, get in, and he was like, I don't know. So like I get up and I grab him, and we're like fighting to get him into the pool. So he grabbed me under my arm, like my bicep area, and not to hurt me at all whatsoever. Like, we were just being stupid. He grabbed me under my arm and like grabbed, and for a solid 30 minutes it felt like he was still grabbing my arm, like he had bruised it like deep down in there. And what he did should not have hurt me at all because he wasn't doing anything crazy. Like, we were just playing around. And when I told her that, she was like, that's fibro. And so they did they didn't do the whole thing. They started the points, the pressure test, and like she was doing my shoulders and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, that hurts, yeah, that hurts, yeah, that hurts. She's like, yeah, this is fibro. But she wanted to go ahead, so we did more blood work for inflammation, which I know I have a ton of inflammation because every time I've gone to the chiropractor several times for this. We went and got massages on our honeymoon, and the lady was like, you have a ton of inflammation in your back. I've had back problems for, oh goodness, 10 years now at least, with all 3 kids during pregnancy and after pregnancy. And so like all these things just got, you know, dismissed as something else. But now it's coming like full swing, like this is 100% what this is. So now I'm taking Cymbalta on top of my Neurontin. And Cymbalta is apparently a very scary drug. I've been reading lots of things about it, and it really scares me. But I've got to do something to get better. I found out that I cannot take 2 because it makes me really, 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 really not good. But 1 is helping, other than some days they make me really, really tired. Like yesterday I took a nap. I never take naps. So, all this to say that my life is a mess and fibro sucks. My house is a disaster. I've got a ton of things that I need to do today. But anyone who's dealt with a chronic illness knows about the spoon thing. And I don't like the spoon thing because to me it just doesn't make sense, because it doesn't work that way for me. For me, it's like I have an hourglass of sand every single day. The top part of the hourglass is completely blacked out. You can't see it at all. You have no idea how much sand is in there. And so, like, you may wake up feeling great, so you've got sand, and, like, you do things, and then that sand's just, you can see it coming out the bottom, like, you know there's sand in there, and then all of a sudden, you run out of sand, and you hit a wall, and you physically cannot do anything else. You have to force yourself. Like, that's when things get hard, and you kind of stop. That's where we're at. And it sucks, because, like, today My house is a mess. I really, 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 really want to fix that because it drives me insane. I cannot stand a messy house. So I've got to clean the house. I've got to go grocery shopping because the last 2 days that I was supposed to go grocery shopping, I did not have a car seat. So now I have a car seat. So today we have got to go grocery shopping. We're out of everything. I can't even cook supper tonight without going grocery shopping. I've got to cook supper when I get home. Like, that's got to happen. My family has to eat. So plus, I mean, the grocery shopping is just gonna like completely wear me out. And so I've got 3 major big things that I need to get done today. Plus, I've got to take a shower and get ready. And that in itself is like, it's hard, y'all. And that's what people without this don't understand, is how hard it is just to do those simple things you have to do. So that's 4 big things on top of taking care of 3 kids and taking them through all this stuff. Like right now, I'm trying to get them all ready so that I can go get ready, and it just sucks. So the point of this whole blog is Fibro sucks. If you have any recommendations on things to make life easier, I am totally ready to hear those, because this is not working for me. I've got to go back to the doctor soon. I'm gonna ask her a few more questions and maybe get tested for Lyme disease, because I keep hearing that that is a big one that can also mimic this, and she did not test for that. And if this could be something as simple as Lyme and I can take some super major mega antibiotics and get better, then sign me up for that, because this is no way to live. And if you're living with fibro or any other chronic illness, I'm so sorry. And I am here for you. If you'll be here for me, like, we can get through this together. This vlog is gonna be a little bit about my journey with all this. Like, I know my journey is just beginning, and that is absolutely terrifying. Whenever she told me that that's what she thought it was, I cried. I'm 31 years old. I have 3 kids. This cannot be my life. You know, it cannot be my life. So, all that to say, Fibro sucks. That's really all I've got. I'm just feeling really down about it today, and I want this vlog to be a little bit about my journey with that and what I'm doing to cope and make it better. And yeah, right now that's kind of how I'm feeling. So I'm gonna go get in the shower and I'm gonna go get ready, and we're going to see what we can get done today. And who knows, while I'm there, I may pick up some frozen pizzas and call it good. Right now we're supposed to have chicken tacos with street corn, which sounds amazing, and I will totally vlog about it if I do make it, because I'm pretty excited about that corn. But by the time I go grocery shopping and get home, it may not happen. So yeah, I hope y'all have a fantastic day. And yeah, if you're suffering with fibro, let me know, and let's be fibro warriors together. Have a great day, guys.